Kiriya has dark green hair and pale skin. His eyes are blue as a member of the Dizuko zone, and he's disguised as human. He wears a dull orange shirt and black shorts. He also wears the yellow prison stone on his neck. Kiriya, also known as Kiriya in the English dub, is one of the villains from the Dizuko zone in Futari Percure. He disguises himself as a Frenchman student at Rouen Academy and is talented at soccer. He guards the yellow prison stone. Kiriya appears in the first season of the Percure series, Futari Percure. He made his debut in episode 4 as a cameo shot, and played his major role in the season in episode 13. He is 13 years old, and he comes from the Dizuko zone. His older sister is Poisony. His role is that of a villain until episode 21, as he became the ally to the Percure. His alter ego is Kiriya, and his power is creating barriers, as shown in episode 17. The personal pronoun, which is Boku, his voice actor is Gokyuchi, and his English VA is Scott Roberts. Kiriya has dark green hair and pale skin. His eyes are blue as a member of the Dizuko zone, and he's disguised as human. He wears a dull orange shirt and black shorts. He also wears the yellow prison stone on his neck. Kiriya is rather serious and pessimistic, as he doubts his ability to change his destiny. He has been shown to tease the other residents of the Dizuko zone. He is seen interacting with Hanaka the most. Although it is unknown how they feel about each other, it is shown that he looks up to her, and their relationship is most likely a brother and sister conversation. As for Poisony, when shown together, she is usually teasing him, or vice versa once or twice. But when she dies, Kiriya is shown terribly upset about her passing. Kiriya was created by the evil king to do his bidding. Whenever it was, somehow he was created in a way that made him the younger brother of another minion, Poisony. Kiriya is introduced along with the other members of the Dizuko zone, insulting Percure for his failures. After Kikadro is defeated, Poisony's Kiriya's older sister is the next one to confront Nagasaki and Hanaka. Though he decided to infiltrate Verone Junior High Academy to spy on the girls for the Dizuko zone. However, when he first starts to interact with the Percure in their civilian forms, he is surprised to see how Hanaka is the only girl until that point to not be swayed by his good looks. A member from the soccer club he joins asks around for help on his grandparents' farm, which he accepts. While on the farm, however, he does not understand why it is so important to help others, and instead lays down. Hanaka, who works with him, scolds him and explains why one should help others. She pushes him to try harder, making him silently angry. However, when he falls while pushing the wheelbarrow, he gets cut on his finger. Hanaka cares for him and helps him put a bandage on it. At the end of that day, when everything is finished, Kiriya still thinks about the kind things Hanaka said to him, and when Poisony appears. Realizing that he is starting to think like a human, he agrees to help his sister to defeat the Percure. While keeping on a wall separating Cure White and Cure Black, he watches as Cure White gets touched by Poisony's Zeneca and accidentally awakens the wall when watching her demonstration to protect the Garden of Light. Cure Black gets inside and saves her, and after that battle, Kiriya sees how Cure White is kind even in interactions. Being the target of many young girls' crushes, Kiriya is confronted about love himself, eventually asking Hanaka for advice. She gives him that, but hearing the day after that the person who encouraged a Christian girl to confront her love to him was Honoka herself, Kiriya rips the love letter to pieces in anger. Honoka confronts him afterwards about his attitude, but he yells at her and tells her how she does not think about his feelings at all. Despite all the confession he is going through with human emotions, realizing her mistake, Honoka apologizes and walks back to her classroom with Nagasaki just as they get transported to another dimension by Poisony. While having a test, Kiriya thinks about his confession and knowing that Poisony is winning over Percure, acknowledgingly saves them from they get killed. After school, he apologizes to the girls from earlier, who tells him that it is okay. He is surprised by her reaction, though they do not interact more from then on. Eventually decides to fight with her own powers. Kiriya talks to Honoka on her way to Nagasaki. He notices a perfume she made during science club, and though Honoka is surprised to see he knows the flavors she put on, he remembers that Honoka does not need perfume to be like her. While they fight, Kiriya realizes his feelings for Honoka, and with her encouraging words that he can change his destiny, he gives her the Prism Stone. However, this gratitude makes him a traitor to the evil king, and Inkubo appears immediately to take him away to meet his fate. Knowing that he did all he could, he accepts it without a fight despite Kira's wife's desperate cries. He is believed to have been killed by either Inkubo or the evil king, but his defeat causes sadness for both the girls, and Honoka is revealed the whole night following the event. She is still guilty about his death the rest of the year, and when being asked if she had any guy she was interested in, she was awake half the night thinking about it. She is mentioned during Roan Junior High School's Christmas party by Kimata and Fujimura Shogo, as they are annoyed that he left without any notice, unknown to them that he brings back powerful memories to Honoka. Depressing her, he returns shortly in a dimensional rift after a battle to warn Percure about a future fight. Kiriya tries to stop him from leaving again, but is too late. During the final battle on the Daizuka zone, Kiriya reveals himself before the Percure when saving them and helps them hide from the evil king. He tries to get them to stay hiding, but they surprise him by wanting to fight despite the odds. Eventually lets them fight and is surprised when they eventually become the winners. However, as he was made by the evil king upon his defeat, he also vanishes. As he does so, he believes that there is hope and a possibility to change one's destiny. He has decided for a place he wants to be, but disappears before he could say it out loud. While Nagasaki and Honoka walk from school to home, Honoka spots a young boy who has a very similar look to Kiriya, though it turns out that this boy has human parents and is happy with them. Neither does he seem to recognize them, though he stares at Honoka's eyes for a long time. Seeing the boy walk away, Honoka sadly wonders if they will ever see each other again, with Nagasaki assuring her, saying that they will always be under the same blue sky. Poisony, also known as Pandora in the English dub, is featured in episode 12 throughout 20 and is the only woman of the 5 denizens of the Daizuka zone, followed by Rigen. She is the holder of the Orange Prism Stone. Poisony appeared in the first season of Percure. She made a cameo in episode 4 and had her major role in episode 12. He is from the Daizuka zone and Kiriya's younger brother. Her role is that of a villain, and her alter ego is Poiko-san in episode 15. Dean is a vampiress. She has the power to make Zeneca, shapeshift, hypnosis, and illusion, and also imprisoning others, and seen in episode 20. Her personal pronoun is Atashi, her VA is Sekiryan, and her English VA is Olina Gibbonson. Poisony is a slender woman with red lips who resembles a vampire due to her pale skin, dark leotard attire, and her cape and fangs. She has crimson hair and slitted eyes. She wears a choker with the prison stone on it. Poisony is portrayed as an analytical and merciless woman who is devoted to almost anything mercy or sense of harm, even towards her brother whom she otherwise cares for. She threatens him if she thinks he is betraying the evil king. Unlike most members of the Zuko Zone, she is not the type to rely on her strength despite being very powerful, and instead will rather use subterfuge or create magical traps to enhance and kill the Percure. When she does fight directly, she always fights to kill, never giving her enemies a moment to counter. She believes skills and experience are far more important than strength, so she refuses to go blow with the Percures, using surprise attacks and smashing the enemy from long range as much as possible. She has a tendency to create extremely deadly profiles on the people she targets to understand, manipulate, or even disguise as them. However, she sometimes forgets to be aware of her surroundings when talking, and she gets highly stressed and embarrassed if people notice her without a disguise. Poisony is the older brother of Kiriya, or just someone seen to as a sister to him. Despite this, they will only work together in 2 episodes. Poisony comes from the English word poison, whenever the Y at the end is an English way to make certain words an adjective or adverb. Pandora is taken from the Greek myth of Pandora, the woman who opened Pandora's box and released all the evils onto mankind. Instead of making a big show of calling it Zeneca like Percure and Kikadro, she snaps her fingers as she much more discreet about this. Often takes on a human appearance to gain the trust of the girls before attacking. She has the power to extend her hair and attack with it. However, she only does so in her final appearance. Fact 1. Kiriya shares the same voice actress with Kiriya from Heartcatch Percure and Dark Aqua from Yes Pretty Go movie. Fact 2. Out of the main 5 villains at the beginning of the series, Poisony had the most episodes, having a total of 8 with her as a villain, Blizzard only having 5, Kiriya only having 6, Kiriya only having 2 or 3, and Nikabo having 7. Fact 3. Poisony is the first villain to use her hair to extend herself, before Kasarina from Heartcatch Percure. Fact 4. Poisony's English voice actor also voices Pauline and Rei Mishimi. Fact 2. She shares her Japanese voice actress with Remi Ano, character from Fresh Percure. Now we have reached the ending of Kiriya and Poisony. Next we will talk about Balbazes before heading on to Splash Star. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Anyways, take care everyone. Suchan signing out.